This is Mr. Beck Does Your Homework. This is physics homework number 5, question number 7. I put a little preview up here, which you can read on your own, but the question says, a motorboat accelerates uniformly from a velocity of 6.2 meters per second to the west to a velocity of 1.1 meters per second to the west. If its acceleration was 2.9 meters per second squared to the east, how far did it travel during the acceleration? So what's interesting here is that this motorboat is starting off going to the west. Here's my motorboat. And then later on, it's still going to the west. So as time passes, it's moving over here to the west. And it's going to accelerate as it goes, but it's going to accelerate to the east. If it's moving with a velocity to the west and it accelerates to the east, then it's going to slow down as it goes, which makes a little bit of sense here. So what I have to do is I've got to pick, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that west is negative and east is positive. That's my standard way of doing it. So any velocity or anything that's pointing to the west, I'm going to say that's negative. Anything that's pointing to the east, I'm going to write that down as positive. So let me look back at my numbers here. A motorboat accelerates uniformly from a velocity of 6.2 meters per second to the west. So that is my initial velocity is 6.2 meters per second. To the west, that's negative. To a velocity of 1.1 meters per second to the west. My final velocity is going to be to the west 1.1 meters per second. If the acceleration was 2.9 meters per second squared to the east, well, my acceleration is to the east, so it's going to be positive 2.9 meters per second squared. How far did it travel? So now I'm looking for my displacement. Actually, I'm looking for a distance. It just says how far. So if it travels a negative displacement, I'm just going to give that a positive number. I'm going to absolute value my answer at the end. So my displacement equals question mark. Do you have to write the positive here? No, but sometimes when when there's a little bit of confusion about east and west, it's good to do so. So initial velocity, final velocity, acceleration, distance, nothing about time. So I'm going to pick my equation that doesn't have time. That's v squared equals v0 squared plus 2ax. Final velocity squared, that's going to be negative 1.1 parentheses squared equals initial velocity squared, that's negative 6.2 squared plus twice my acceleration is 2.9 and my displacement. Now when I do this, I'm going to get a bigger number here than there, so when I subtract it, this side is going to be negative. I'm going to divide by 2, and 2 times 2.9, or divide by 2, again divide by 2.9, so I'm going to wind up with some number that's actually going to be negative something or other, right? And that's going to be in meters. But I don't want a negative, I want that to be positive because it's saying simply how far, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to absolute value my answer, and so I'll get a positive number there that I'm going to enter into UTexas.